going to start by making a magic ring, and this is how I do a magic ring. You're going to wrap the yarn around your first two fingers and then insert your hook up underneath the first loop on your fingers and pull down the second one so it comes through that first one. Hook goes down and then we do a little twist, so hook's facing up, and then this piece of yarn here we're going to pull through the loop on our hook. Now this is a little bit fiddly, so keep going at it if you can't do it the first time. Once you've done that, you can pull it off your fingers and it's ready to go. So first bit of the pattern calls for 6 double crochet in UK terms. Make sure you're crocheting over both of the bits of the magic ring. So we're going to yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over. Can be a little bit fiddly working with the magic ring, and pull through both loops on our hook. So again, this is a double crochet in UK terms. We're going to do that one again. We're going to push our hook through the ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've got 2 on our hook now. We're going to need 4 more. We're going to repeat exactly the same, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so now we've got our 6 stitches on our hook through our magic ring. We're going to pull on that end and that will close it. Now I don't like to pull it all the way closed right at the beginning. I like to leave a little hole because I find it easier to work into that first stitch on the next round, and then I'll close it after the next round, but it's completely up to you. What we're going to do now is we're going to increase in every stitch around. So you want to just push your hook through the first stitch, and an increase is just 2 double crochet into 1 stitch, and we're going to yarn over again, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2, and that's your double crochet. UK terms, don't forget. And to increase, you just pop another double crochet into that same stitch. It's that easy. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around until you have got 12 stitch count. So I'll do a couple more with you and then I will meet you back when you've got 12 stitches. Okay, so we've got 12 stitches and that's the second round done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull my hole closed. You have to tug quite tightly on the tail of the magic ring to get a real nice closed seam. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do 1 double crochet and then increase into the next. So it's 1 double crochet increase all the way around, and I'll do the first couple. So we'll do insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, and then we're going increase into the next stitch. So insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then again another double crochet into that stitch because we're increasing, and that's the first pattern done of those stitch increases. So again it's yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 for 1 double crochet, and then an increase into the next, which is 2 double crochet into the same stitch. And you need to work that all the way around and you will end up with 18 stitches at the end of the round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work them up and I'll meet you back here when we're done. Okay, so we've got 18 stitches now. The next pattern of increases around is double crochet, increase. So that's 1 double crochet in this stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to increase, so that's 2 double crochet into the same stitch. One and one more in that stitch for an increase. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys work this around, and at the end you'll have 24 stitches, and I will meet you back here when you've done your next round. Okay, so that's our next round complete. So again, our next repeat of stitches is double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. So that's 3 double crochet and then an increase. So we're going to do 1 double crochet, two double crochet, three double crochet, and then in the next stitch we're going to increase, so that's 2 double crochet into the same stitch. So this is 1, and then 1 more into the same stitch. And at the end of this round you should have a stitch count of 30 stitches. So I'll let you guys work around again, and I'll meet you back here when we are done. Great, we've got the next round completed. So again, another stitch pattern. We're going to do 4 double crochet this time, and then we're going to increase in the 5th stitch. So we're going to do 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then in the next stitch we're going to increase, so that's 2 double crochet in the same stitch. This round is going to give you a complete stitch count of 36 stitches, so we're adding 6 stitches every time. So I'm going to let you guys repeat that all the way around, and then I'll meet you back here when you've done. Okay, so you should have 36 stitches. So the next sort of stitch repeat is we're going to do 5 double crochet and then an increase into the 6th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochet and then an increase into the 6th. I'll do this first one with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in the next one we're going to do an increase, which is 2 double crochet into the same stitch. Oh, it's the next one, yeah. Let's see, just on the hamster wheel here, folks. So at the end of this round you should have a final stitch count of 42 stitches. So I'm going to let you guys finish that, and then I'll come back and meet you at the end of the round. Okay, so the next round we're going to do is we're going to go all the way around, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochet, and then we're going to increase in the 7th, so you'll see that your circle is growing. So I'll do the first repeat with you. If you want to use a stitch marker, that's fine. I just like to count. It's quite repetitive for me. It helps me sort of switch off, but I can't count and talk, so I will go quiet eventually. Okay, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, and then we're going to increase, so 2 double crochet into the same stitch in the 7th one. And your stitch count this time around will be 48 stitches. So I'll let you guys go around and I'll meet you back when you completed that round. Okay, so we've got our completed round of 48 stitches. You can see here our circle is getting nice and big. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochet, and then we're going to increase into the 8th stitch. So I'll do the first repeat with you as always. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, excuse me, 7, and then what we're going to do into this one is we're going to increase, so 2 double crochet into the same stitch, and the count for this round will be 54 stitches at the end. So I'll let you guys go around and I'll meet you back when you've got 54 stitches. Okay guys, so we've got our circle. It's big enough now for a large cup. You'll see it measures roughly half the size of a crochet hook across, and what we're going to do now is we're going to work in the front loops only to give it a nice little brim, and then we will add our white yarn for the details. So for this next section we're going to work in the front loops only. Now if you don't know how to do that, I'll show you. So each stitch has got these 2 loops, and you want to be working in the one that's closest to you. So how we're going to do that is you're going to have your hook and yarn exactly the same. So you're going to pop your hook onto your yarn, but instead of going through both loops of the stitch, you're just going to go through the first one. So you push your stitch in from the front as normal, but instead of going all the way through, you want to come up between the stitches, just like that. And then you've only caught the front loop, and then you're going to make a double crochet as normal. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through those 2 loops on your hook. You make the stitches normal, it's just that you're not going through the full stitch, you're just going through the first loop. And then when you've done a few, you'll see the back loops lingering on the back of the work. That's fine. It's just so it creates a little bit of a brim for the coaster, and it allows us to work in the white details for the lemon as well. So carry on making your stitches as normal, and I'll just make a few more. So remember, through the front loop only. If you're like me and you sort of get into the repetition of things, it can be good to remind yourself quite often. Next one, and then in a minute I'll just stop and show you what the back of your work will look like. Okay, so I've got a few there now, and then if you pull it over, you can see the back loops are still prominent on the back of your work. That's normal, it should look like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around with the working a double crochet in the front loops only, and then I will meet you back at the end of the round and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so we've got all the way around, and you'll see it's given a nice little brim to our coaster. It's looking now very cute, like a little trinket dish, and you can see the back loops on there. That's fine. That's nothing to worry about at all. So what we need to do now is we need to fasten off and weave in our ends, just like magic. And then in comes our white yarn. So we're going to do some surface crochet now, and we're going to surface crochet the pith or the edge of the coaster in white, and then all the segments as well, because we're making a lemon, don't forget, so we want it to look like a lemon. So we're going to follow the natural sort of, you can see the lines that the increases has made and working in the front loop only has made. So you see these lines here. We're going to follow that natural pattern to make the segments and then go all the way around for the sort of pith line. So what you want to do first is you want to make a slip knot on your hook with your white yarn. Don't put it on your hook, sorry, just yet. You're going to put your hook through your piece first. So just like that, and then you're going to put your slip knot on and pull it tight. And then we're going to pull that slip knot right through to the front of your work. So in surface crochet, you're working through the surface of your crochet, not through the stitches. But I work in between the stitches, so we're going to push our hook down in between the next stitch, and then you yarn over just like you would any normal stitch, but then you're going to bring the loop up through to the front and then through the loop that's on your hook. So what that will do is that will put a chain stitch, but it'll be on the surface of the crochet work. And you just repeat that. So push your hook down through between the next stitches, yarn over, pull that yarn over back through to the front and through the loop on your hook. So it is similar to a chain or a slip stitch, and you can see here that it's making little chains on the work. Don't be worried if you pull the loop too loose, you can always pull it tight from the back, but you're just going to want to do that all the way around, the exact same technique. We're going to push through, yarn over, and then pull through to the front of your work and pull through the loop that's on your hook at the front. So I'm going to carry on around doing exactly that technique. If you need to, go back to the beginning of this segment and just have another run through, and I'll meet you guys back at the beginning of the white when you're done all the way around. Okay, so we've gone all the way around our coaster with our white yarn. You can see a nice white chain all the way around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do our segments. So we're going to follow those natural lines that you can see has been made by the increases. And we're going to use exactly the same technique. You don't need to fasten off for the first one. We're just going to go all the way down through the middle and down to the other side. So your yarn will be on your hook, so you want to just turn your work to work in the direction that you're going to be going. This can be quite fiddly. It can take a while to get used to it and to get used to the placement, and it might not look right, but don't be worried about that. It's a new technique you're learning here, and do it how best works for you. So you can see that I'm rolling up the crochet fabric quite a lot. That's just how I find it easiest. Find your own way of doing it. Do what's best for you. So we're just working the exact same technique. We're pushing our hook through the work. We're doing a yarn over and pulling that yarn over back through to the front and then through the loop that's on our hook. So you can see I've gone a little bit loose there, but I'll pull it tight in a minute. And we're just going to carry on all the way down to the other side. Exactly the same technique. So this is a really good way to practice surface crochet as well, because we're not doing anything too difficult like letters or wording or anything like that. We're just doing circles and lines. It's a really good introduction to a new technique. So I will get all the way down and then I'll show you how to fasten off when we get to the end of this line, because we are going to have to fasten off. Okay, so we're at the end. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to chop our yarn, so the white yarn, and then you're just going to pull it up through to the front, because you're making a series of slip stitches, so it's going to be tight. So pull it tight, and then we're just going to hide that white end through. We're going to pull it through to the back. So insert your hook and wrap the yarn around it and pull it down through the stitch to the back, and then you can just weave your ends in as normal at the back, because you've pulled tight on that slip stitch. It'll be nice and tight there. So again, don't worry about the look of it. It'll all come together. Mine's a little bit wonky, but that's fine. We're going to start on the next line, so we're going to have to insert our hook and yarn in placement for the next line across. It's going to be a diagonal line to create then segments. So what I'm going to do is we're going to insert our hook and yarn exactly the same way. So create a slip knot and pop it to the side with your white yarn, and then what we're going to do is we're going to push our hook through in the space you want to start. We're going to pop our slip knot onto our hook and pull it tight, and then you're carrying on with that surface crochet technique all the way across in a diagonal shape. So you can see the natural line that's caused by the increases. I'm going to follow that. So this is my line complete. Again, we're going to fasten off in exactly the same way. We're going to chop our yarn. We're going to pull it through the front nice and tight, and then you're going to bring that yarn through to the back of your work with your hook. So push your hook through from back to front, and then wrap your yarn around, and you're going to pull the yarn from front to back, and then you can just weave in again that end as you normally would weave in your ends. So that's 2 lines done. We're going to do the last line of surface crochet. I'm going to do it from this corner here, and we're just going to go down again in exactly the same technique. Create a slip knot and put it to one side. Push your hook through the space you want to start in, and then pop your slip knot on the hook and work your surface crochet all the way along your line. And what I'll do is I'll meet you back here when you're done. So this is my completed line. Again, fasten off in exactly the same way. Snip the yarn, pull it through to the front, and then pull it tight. Don't forget to pull it tight. You're going to push your hook through from back to front, grab that piece of yarn and pull the yarn through to the back, and then just weave in your ends once you're finished. This is your finished coaster. All ends weaved in, looking very pretty, and it's ready to pop your favourite mug on. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe for more free tutorials.